Coming up next on Walk the Plank, I give you a sneak peek at tonight's movie. We introduce a brand new character on the award-winning Dead and Buried Treasures show, along with a returning mermaid. Eric has some merchandise news straight from Phoenix Comics and Toys, so you want to stick around to hear about that. And, of course, we answer your Facebook questions. All that and more coming up next. Stick around. Welcome back to Walk the Plank, the official pre-show to the award-winning Dead and Buried Treasures horror host extravaganza. I am your host, Rich Kanji, and joining me, finally, after all this time, series creator, star, the Mel Blanc of horror host, Eric Sprouse. You get that?
I did, yeah.
Because
it's funny, I just popped an Altoid, and I'm I probably shouldn't have done it in retrospect because now you're just saying bounce around in my mouth.
I know.
But it was hell without you, Rich. And I was trying to hold down the ship, and it just wasn't as much fun as whenever we do it when we host this thing together. So,
well, you did a great job. I couldn't be more proud. But of course, that's what you do. You are a professional. So
thank you.
There's no doubt about it. No doubt.
Well, when you said the award, I feel like I should sit here with a tie on. I feel like I'm underdressed.
No, hey, you got the Save Ferris shirt on. To me, that's more than a tie. Love
old school.
Yeah, that's very
old school, baby.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the '80s cinema. So thank you for wearing that. I'll say you wore that for me.
This was to celebrate you coming back.
I love it. I love
it. Yeah, that's what we'll say.
Yeah. So,
did you know they did a TV series on this? On Ferris Bueller?
They tried. It failed miserably.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't as good. It wasn't even near what Matthew Broderick did.
Right. Yeah, because when you don't have Matthew Broderick as Ferris Bueller, who cares?
That's so true.
Yeah.
I keep hearing that they were going to do a sequel. Then they did the commercial during the Super Bowl a couple years ago where they did like a little kind of a commercial. I thought that was cute, but I don't know if they'll ever make a sequel. No, it was just such a perfect film.
Right. The worst thing that they do is today they make a remake of these movies instead of sequels. And, that's funny that we mentioned remakes because tonight's movie was remade in 1999.
Yep.
Although this is not what you're going to be showing us tonight. You're going to be showing the 1959 classic House on Haunted Hill with Vincent Price.
It's a good one. It's a very good one. William Castle directed it, and it's kind of funny because it almost didn't happen with Vincent Price. He actually gave the part to Vincent Price on a day that, believe it or not, Vincent Price was turned down for a role.
Oh, wow.
And, they had coffee at some shop. He talked him into it, and the rest was history, as they say. And the nice thing about it is, when I researched this movie, Alfred Hitchcock was so impressed that they made such a low-budget film. They only made this film for $200,000 back in the day. But Alfred Hitchcock was so impressed that they did it on a low budget. He says, I'm going to try to do a low-budget film, and they ended up making Psycho. So
how about that?
It may be in a roundabout way. If it wasn't for this movie tonight, there would be no Psycho.
Right.
So,
well, you have a nice cast in this movie with Carolyn Craig, Vincent Price, and Elijah Cook Jr.
I also like Annabelle, his wife, Carol Omart.
Mm-hmm.
Geez, she's
The looker.
She's pretty. Yeah, she's certainly good eye candy for this movie, and she was. The more I watched her, the more I said, "Wow, she's gorgeous," you know, and she plays that that role of like the wife who you want to believe in, but then you say, something's not right here. She seems like because she flirts a lot with some of the other cast members in the movie, and you're thinking, not quite right here. But it's funny because when we talk about reboots and remakes, when they redid House on Haunted Hill, they didn't change the theme of the movie, but they changed the resolution. They changed the entire end around. They didn't change some of the things that happened, but they changed the entire complexity of everything that happens. They made it completely different and not quite as bad. They remade Dementia 13 a couple years ago, believe it or not.
I remember that. Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah, when they redid it, I never understood why they did it because everything was different. The killer, everything. I'm like, the only thing they had in common with the old classic Francis Ford Coppola film was the title. That was it. It was completely different. With the House on Haunted Hill, when they did the remake, it was still the same premise, characters. They added like a TV anchor here and there, but essentially it was the same movie, but it had a different outcome. And I like when they do those kind of reboots and remakes and things like that. So you're in for a good one tonight.
I'm Vincent Price, and you're invited to my party in the house on Haunted Hill, where so far the ghosts have murdered only 7 people. So won't you come and make it 8? You'll see human heads without bodies. Mysterious pools of blood dripping from the ceiling. The walls move slowly in against you. Don't try to escape, you can't. You ready, dear?
No.
Are you ready, dear?
Yes, damn you.
The ghosts are waiting, so won't you join me in the house on Haunted Hill? Hurry, or you'll be late for your own funeral.
Yeah, good movie. Can't wait to see.
Yeah, so that brings us up to tonight's episode of Dead and Buried Treasures.
Yep.
I know how you like to tie in the story of Dead and Buried Treasures into usually the movie, at least a little bit. You know, you have a little bit of a coincidence going on there tonight too, with an ex-wife, Calico Drake's ex-wife. So that brings me to a brand new character that you are going to debut tonight,
right?
Played by Diana Cousins, and that would be the character of Juliana Killigrew.
Yeah.
Calico Drake's ex-wife.
Yeah, originally when I first wrote this, I didn't know if I wanted it to be Calico's ex-girlfriend or ex-wife or crazy ex-girlfriend or crazy ex-wife, but I think it kind of just stuck when we were making it just a lot easier because Calico's a little older. I mean, he's 400 years old.
He looks good. He looks good for 400.
Well, hey, he does what he can. He eats right. But so we wanted to. We always like to tie in something when we're hosting the show to the movie we're hosting, and we can't always do that. So we know that Vincent Price in tonight's movie doesn't get along with his ex-wife or his wife very well, and there's a great line in it. He says, "Remember the fun we had when you poisoned me? I'm thinking, man, that's a marriage made in heaven right there.
Yeah.
So I thought I'd write that for the script.
Mhm.
So when we wrote it, Calico Drake apparently has an ex-wife that comes back, and she's nuts, and she just causes some havoc in the show. And she's played by Diana Cousins, who does a great job. I remember when I asked Diana to take the role, she says to me, I'm not used to playing like she does a lot of model gigs and photo shoots. She
Mhm.
goes, I'm not used to playing a crazy character. I'm used to like playing a character where everybody tries to come and get me or comes after me. And I said, well, this will be a stretch for you. And she played the role pretty crazy. I mean, she has this nervous little giggle that
Oh,
she
that's
has.
great.
And I'm like, oh my God. And she puts it on her answering machine when I talk to her on her voicemail. So there's some elements that she managed to bring from her real life kind of thing into this. Not necessarily her being nuts, but she does a great job at playing the character that way. And of course, we have Marabella back, who we just introduced in the last episode of Mermaid. And this is a nice opportunity this time around. The last episode, we dealt with the mythology.
Mhm.
And there is a backstory to all of this and why it's happening. We like to unveil a little piece at a time, but then we like to do some comedic stuff and some comedy. And this is kind of it's kind of a standalone this week, but it allows Marabella, who plays the mermaid, to have some comedy. And there's always comedy with me and Jack and Davy Bones. But when you add Juliana Killigrew to this and her nutty character, it's kind of a fun standalone, and we got a great movie to do it with. And because my ex-wife is back in the show, it's like Vincent Price's ex-wife is in House on Haunted Hill. It's a nice tie-in to do that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, I love that you do that. It works for the show. It really does.
Yeah, it does, and I have a lot of fun doing it.
My question, since now things are drastically changed with how shows are produced, at least on your end. Any issues or troubles with trying to get Diana Cousins footage to you? Because I know she's filming. She doesn't live in Pittsburgh, so it's not like she can come, to the studio and record.
Right.
So she needs to send you the footage. And I understand, at least from the last episode with Eileen Isley and her character Marabella, you talked on this last pre-show episode of the complications of coming in for the hug, where she had to film hers on a green screen. You filmed yours, and you had to match them up to make it look like you two were hugging. So I understand there's a lot of complications, but for Diana, being this is her first, I guess, show,
right?
'Cause she did modeling, so this would be your first show with a green screen. And was there any complications, or did that run pretty smooth?
Yeah, well, 100% of Dead and Buried Treasures, 100% is a special effect.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we're on a boat, whether we're on a ship, the studio segments, the animatronics, the Davy Bones, even Jack is animatronic. He's not a puppet. He's a robot cover. We've had him on the show before. We've had Davy on the show. So everything's always a challenge on the show because it's a special effect.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice because I'm a college professor by trade, and I've taught this kind of stuff. So I kind of have an idea of what I want, what I'm doing. That doesn't mean it's easy. Because in the last episode, you brought it up how the pandemic has changed everything, at least for now. Maybe one day we'll get back to normal, but we never quit. Like Hollywood shut down, but that was an opportunity for us because we kept chugging them out. And I kind of said, how could we do this without having a studio?
Right.
And as long as you got a green screen and your other talent has a green screen that they have access to stand in front of, you can do just about anything except touch or be in the scene at the same time. And even that, it's like Photoshop. You can layer it to do so. So when we did the last episode, Terror Creatures from the Grave with Barbara Steele, that's the movie we hosted. When Marabelle was on the show, there's a shot where I wanted us to hug. to say, "Hey, how are you? Nice to see you." So I had to walk away from the camera. She had to walk toward the camera. And just as we're about to hug, I cut away to a conversation. And when I come back, we break the embrace.
Right.
And that wasn't new because you have to communicate this stuff to your actors and actresses, and you can't be there when it's done.
Mm-hmm.
So you can tell them what you want. And the first time Aline did it, she came in this way from the side, and I'm going this way. And she was closer to the camera, so she looked bigger than I was, and it just didn't work. We had to do it again and again. And then once you get it in the post-production process, you can tinker with it and shrink it. This time around, we had some issues with. Oh man, I didn't see it coming. There's a scene where Juliana, my ex-wife, has to have on a blue dress, and when I looked at it in post-production, she might as well have worn a dress made entirely of chroma key.
Right.
I mean, it was just I thought up here, I'm thinking, well, it's blue, it won't work. I know they blue screen things.
Right.
I wasn't using a blue screen. I was using a blue dress on in front of a green screen. I thought that's not so bad, but you could completely see through her. Mm-hmm. So it was a nightmare. So I called her up and I said, "We got to do it again." She said, "All right." So we did it again, and she's in I think 4 or 5 segments of the show tonight. And she changed the dress so you couldn't see through her, but then she's holding flowers, like a bouquet of flowers, like she's going to get married. And there were elements of green in the flowers. There's stems and little baby's breath. And because it was the colors of chroma key, you can still see through her again. It was, you got to lose the flowers. And we had to shoot it again. So now we're doing it a third time. And then when we did it a third time, there was something happened. I don't remember what it was. She either laid the flowers here, or no, not quite like that, like there. So it's just barely in the shot. Mm-hmm. You can still see the green, so you can still see through her. I'm like, and that was a fourth time we had to shoot the scene. Anything where she's wearing this blue dress, I said, drop the dress, go back to what you normally had, take the flowers, throw them across the room. So she shot like a real trooper. She went out of her way. She did it 3 or 4 times, and it really. And at the end, it seemed to work very well. And the last segment 7 tonight takes 15 minutes before we go back to the movie. But it's going to be so funny. It's so worth it.
Good.
Yeah, she was great.
I'm excited to see it. I'm sure everybody else is.
I don't know. I am too.
We'll see how well that goes. So, we're looking forward to that tonight. You have some big news coming from Phoenix Comics and Toys. Those are the guys who produced the Calico Drake decoder statue, the Christmas edition Calico Drake. Right. You had the Davy Bones. He was on there too.
A few years ago, I was a mascot for a minor league baseball team near Pittsburgh in Washington, PA, called the Washington Wild Things. And I had to wear a bear costume. I remember the year that I was the mascot. I was much younger then. I could do roll somersaults and flips and stuff. I can't do that anymore. That's out. But they had different variants of the bobblehead figure they had. Right. They had NASCAR Wild Thing. They had Superman Wild Thing. They had Hawaiian Wild Thing, that kind of thing. So when I talked to Phoenix Comics and Toys, I said, how about if we have different variants of the decoder statue we give through the fan club? Mm-hmm. And Rob Fleck over there loved the idea. And he said, so we have the decoder statue, the original one, where it's Calico on a rock, and he's got his treasure. And then we do a variant of that. We did it at Christmas time. Now that first one was in 2019, the decoder. And then 2020, we did the Christmas variant, where it was Santa Drake. We called it Santa Drake. And he had the Santa suit on and a beard and a Santa hat. And he had a candy cane instead of a sword and everything. It was all red and white. It was really cool. So it was sold so well and it took off so well. We decided we're going to have one every year for a while. I don't know how far we'll go, but they're only available during the holidays they concern themselves with. So Christmas, you can't get the Santa Drake statue now.
So which holiday are you tackling this time?
4th of July.
Very nice.
It'll be Uncle Sam. It'll be Calico Drake with a variant of that. It'll variant number 3. Mm-hmm. It'll be we don't know what we're going to call him yet. Uncle Sam will be all red, white, and blue with the Uncle Sam hat, Uncle Sam beard. We're trying to get an American flag in there instead of the sword. some fireworks on the ground. I saw him shaving it up. In fact, I think you might have some video.
I do.
And it's still in the stages. We want to release it for July, so we'll start advertising it on the episodes that air in June, and it'll only be available for the 4th of July. And then, of course, and then 2022, we have plans ahead to do like a St. Patrick's Day, like a St. Patty's Day, Drake, like Patty Drake, or I don't know, something. We'll come up with
Patty Drake.
Yeah,
very good. That's great. That's very good. So we got to get into these questions because we're running out of time quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm so excited to come back. We have a lot to talk about, a lot to catch up on.
We didn't even get to the part where the YouTube channel's down, and we'll talk about that. This kind of plays into what we're doing anyway. I had a couple of emails and texts about that. We've lost our YouTube channel. Somehow we got hacked and we lost the entire channel. It's gone. So we have all the masters at the studio. So it's going to take some time to upload all that stuff again. So we lost the YouTube channel. So everybody's asking me, where's the YouTube channel? Where's all the episodes? When's it going to premiere? We don't have one right now. Somebody hacked us, deleted the entire channel. So that's gone. So we're going to have a new one. And we'll keep you updated on Walk the Plank.
Very good. Very good. You'll hear it first.
Yep.
So fear not, you'll still get your videos. And don't forget to follow the Facebook page, Dead and Buried Treasures, because you can get all your videos there, plus your watch parties, and which happen on Wednesday, I believe, and Saturday.
Yeah, Wednesdays at 9:00 with the pre-show at 8:30. Friday and Saturday at midnight with the pre-show at 11:30. Oh, we have a new affiliate too. We're back on CUTV in Fayette County, which is channel 17 in Fayette County, and channel 62 on Armstrong Cable. So now we're opening up into Fayette, where we're also on FCTV Friday to Saturday nights. But we also have Westmoreland, Greene, and Washington counties. So that'll be nice with the addition of CUTV. And we have an afternoon time for that. We're on Wednesday afternoons from 12 until 4.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So we're big things going on.
Yes. So speaking of Facebook, I have some Facebook questions here that we got to get through. Get through as many as we can. So our first Facebook question comes from Rachel Munch from Edinburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
She asked, states, my friends and I are big fans of pirates. So needless to say, your show has us hooked. No pun intended. Arr. We absolutely love the ongoing plot line for Calico and his crew. With all the continuing storylines, do you have an origin show planned?
Yeah, we do. There's we've been unveiling pieces as we go. We learned in the last episode that how we ended up here, and it may not be so much a curse as it is a time traveling accident, but happened at what they call the Battle of Bermuda. And we talk about that, and we talk about how we're not the only pirates that might have come back from the past. Not everybody just got flooded to 2020. They got flooded to different points in time. We have some origins coming up. We'll tackle that soon enough. We're not going anywhere. So we do have some origin stories planned.
Very good. Very good.
It'll be fun.
Joseph Federline from Syracuse, New York asks, we really liked the episode where Reggie inherited everything when Calico was thought to be dead. I think it was Long John Silver episode.
Yes.
You're very good with comedy. Do you have any ideas coming up for other comedic episodes?
Well, tonight's is pretty good. Tonight is a nice one. And real quick, I know we're running out of time. We want to get to as many questions as we can. The next episode will be a standalone comedy as well, where Calico gets a new member of the crew again. This time he gets a puppy.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's funny because you just answered the next question without even knowing the next question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, your mind powers are working tonight, Professor X. Which Roberta
Carson, remember John? I don't know if you remember this. Johnny Carson would take a card or something up here.
Yes.
Krenyak or Krenak or whatever his name character was would do something like that. Yeah. So yeah,
Hi-oh.
So we have some comedy scheduled for a couple episodes, and then about 3 episodes from now, we get back to another mythology story that's a battle at sea between me and our new villain.
Nice.
That we're trying to unveil as our Joker character.
Well, see that just right there, those two. You just answered Roberta Kirkland from Los Angeles, California's question if you had any plans to introduce new characters, which you have a dog character and a new villain coming up.
Yep.
So
we have a new
villain.
We saw him in the Long John Silver cliffhanger episode as well.
Right.
We also have Jasper, the caretaker of the island. He'll be coming up in a couple episodes. We haven't told anybody who that is yet. You'll see that. And we have another character called Gigi, who is a kind of like a French maid kind of thing. And I've worked with her in the past. I've actually worked with Jasper too. And they're both going to be on the show and have some fun with us.
Very nice. It's growing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Our next question comes from Sealands Grove, New Jersey. Katharina Marco asks, we've watched your show since the very beginning, and we're glad that you're revealing the mythology a little bit at a time. It reminds me of the X-Files or Lost. Can you elaborate a little bit more on Marabella and her connection to the Bermuda Triangle?
Yeah, Marabella is integral to what happened. She kind of explained in the last episode to Calico Drake everything that's happened and how she ended up here, how my crew ended up in the 21st century, why we're here, and now we have a way, almost like a way to go home.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it had something to do with a tunnel that she got sucked through underneath the island, that she remembers it that way. But of course, the Swashbuckler's Haunt's a boat. It couldn't have gone under the water, sucked under an island, came up on the other side, and everybody's happy. The crew lost about 12 minutes of time. So we don't know exactly what happened to us. And that's going to play into the origin stories and the flashbacks and the things that we do from this point forward. So there's a lot of good stuff coming as far as how we got here, how we're going to try to get back, and what we're going to do to have that happen. And a lot of villains got sucked. Remember, we were in a huge battle that involved like 40 ships when this incident happened. So we don't know what happened to them. We don't know where they're at. We just know that they're all like ourselves, scattered through time, courtesy of the island.
And they're coming.
Yep. Yep. They are. They're coming. There's one that's going to be, I've been looking forward. It's nice to have villains on the show because you remember way back when we did Horror Express, there was Captain Walter Time.
Right.
And we failed him as that skeleton. He just didn't look creepy enough to me. It's cool to have a villain, but it's almost like Batman. You know, you have Louis the Lilac, and you got the Riddler, and you got the Penguin, and Mr. Freeze, but there's no villain greater than that. You know what I mean? So I needed a big villain that everybody said, ooh, who's this guy? And he's faceless, and we saw a taste of him at the end of the Long John Silver episode. In fact, I got an email the other day that says, well, where's he at? He wasn't in the Terror Creatures episode. He's not in this one. It's because he's biding his time. And if you remember the end of that cliffhanger back with the Long John Silver movie, he wants to keep his distance from the Swashbuckler's Haunt and watch Calico and his actions. So he's out there. We just don't know about it. He's watching what's going on aboard the ship.
Well, very good. That's exciting. I wish I could get to every question, but we're running out of time. So tonight,
save them for next time, though.
Oh, definitely.
Questions. Yeah.
And we'll have that much more. So we have that to look forward to. But it's great to be back. I'm happy to see a new episode tonight. So I'm looking forward to that and a new character.
We missed having you, man. We're glad you're back. It's awesome.
Yeah. So I came back at a good time. So we got some new characters debuting tonight, and we'll see how this all plays out. So
it'll be a fun night. I'm glad everybody's here. It'll be a long 3.5, 4 hours, but wake the kids, phone the neighbors, make some popcorn, have some ice cream. It'll be a fun night.
That's right.
And a good movie.
Yes. So stick around. You have Vincent Price and House on Haunted Hill and brand new Dead and Buried Treasures coming up.